What is up, YouTube? I'm gonna grab the mic, make a little noise. What is going on? We're in full swing here. All sorts of stuff is going on. We got all sorts of planning happening, and got my hair up, and I'm ready to tackle some more messes, code messes, I guess. Nah, it's not a mess. I wrote it. It's not a mess. It can't be a mess if I wrote it. All right. So what we've got here is we've got all our tickets up over here. I don't know if you can probably see that with my little tiny thing. I can make it. I don't know how moving that around is going to work in the stream, but let's make this a little bit bigger just for a minute. And we're going to point it over at the. So this is what we were doing earlier, was doing some planning. So we're going to ignore the green, that's personal stuff. The green and blue are personal stuff. So these are the tickets for Mitta, and I'd like to get all these done in about a week. So this is going to be a week sprint, maybe about 8 days, maybe. So we've got the stuff that we're working on today right here in the middle. So we talked about this earlier, so that's all up on the board. So we've got fix cursor is the number one thing we want to do. So that's now in progress. Technically, right as I start working on it, I should move it over here, but because I'm here by myself, it doesn't matter. And then the help.js and this video is in progress, and we're gonna fix the HTML stuff. So ideally, I would have done the video before I fired up this stream, but that's just the way it is. All right. Let's make myself smaller again, about the size of one of these eyes of Q. I think that's pretty funny. Right there. Okay. So what we're working on is the help. So we're going to take, I'd like to move that help ticket off. So I want to see if help is good enough. So I'm just going to run through and test it and make sure everything works. Obviously that works. That works. That works. Logout works. I know that works. Upload works, except it doesn't work. It needs to be fixed. And grub works. Guide should work. Spool. Search. Goog. SMS. Okay. All right. So all of that looks good. So I'm going to move help off. It's good enough for now. So that's been marked off. So what's the next thing to work on? The guide page, and then fix the cursor. So we need to fix the cursor. So what's wrong with the cursor? So when you click out of the page and then come back, the cursor has disappeared. So let's see, JS tab enter trigger event. Trigger a button clicked on keyboard enter. Focus, how about tab focus? Event, JavaScript, jQuery. So it looks like that's it right there. So this page is, let's close down a lot of these because we don't need them. They're gumming up the works. I can't tell what I'm doing. I got 100 files open here. The question is, do we really need Mitta? Yes, totally need Mitta. All right, so where shall we put this? Let's put it right here. Actually, all right, let's see if that works. Big claims, but we're gonna reload that page and come back, and it did. It said welcome back right there. Okay, well that's good news. So what we want here is we want to send a click event to the page. So we want, I think what we want is, so the click handler, this click handler, when you click in here, it should be in jQuery console. So the console is the thing that runs. This is the console code. So it's not. I mean, it's pretty long, but it's not horribly long. I mean, it's not, you know, miles long. Let's put it that way. And you get through it pretty quick. So we have a document click function that says get selection toString, return false. So it says all this stuff. So I'm thinking about just triggering this click event. So in jQuery, trigger. So what we want is a document trigger there, I think. So here we want to do $, document trigger click. I think that's what we do. Trigger click, yeah. I mean, they've got it in double quotes, but that's pretty much it. So now we're gonna reload this page, and then we're gonna click off over here, and then we're gonna click back over there, and there we have our cursor is there now. Now that's not. That is there. That's still there. Still there. But if you click on something else, it's still there, and that's fine. You may have something highlighted and you want to come back and you're like, so that's fine. All right, we gotta get these displaying in the page, but for now we're just opening them in a separate window. We bootstrapped 11 million in ARR. That's what I'm gonna do. 11 million. I'm gonna need like 8 million customers. 8 million people using this. No, 1 million people. Well, I could do that. 1 million people could use this. It would cost a lot of money to run it, but okay. So that's done. Fix the cursor. So that one's been marked off. So index HTML guide demo. I wonder if I can open another version of OBS Studio. It'd be kind of interesting if I could like launch anyway. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can actually. What if I start recording? It seems to be working. It's even capturing audio. Am I still streaming? Let's see here. I'm just watching myself do it. That totally works. I could make a video while I'm streaming. So I guess I'll do that. If I finish this other ticket, I'm not going to get distracted. So, what else could we move up? So I've got to look at Grub. That's complicated. There's something wrong with it. So I'm going to try to organize these by apps. So this is the spool app, the tag app, which we might not do, the search app, and the settings.js delete, and the SMS app. And then we got a web image selector for the extension, and we're going to throw the bot's history into the user index. So we kind of have a bunch of, we got like five issues for the JavaScript apps, and about 3 issues for just general stuff, and then we have what we're working on, which is the index HTML guide. So I guess I can work on the guide. It's not very programmy, but we can make it work. All right, so let's take a look at where all this stuff comes in. So we have this main file, and it handles the load requests and the user loader. So it basically handles loading in the user context. And one of the things it does is it looks to see if there's a token attached to it. So if you have somebody's token, you can make a request into the system as long as you have their token, and it's picked up in there. So if you have somebody's token, you can essentially do whatever they do via the UI or via the APIs. All right, so what we've got is this site handler. So it's we're registering a blueprint, and that's in this site.py file. And this is where the guide is returned, and it's uses pages guide. So we go into guide, and this is where the file is being returned that we see here. So hello, this is the guide. And then that'll return here. All right, so now what we need to do is, ideally we would probably copy something. We'd probably copy the the about page. And we're just going to throw that in here. And we should fix like these footers and stuff. We wanted to fix that before we launch. This can be fixed later. It's a minor annoyance that it's repeated. So I mean, it does kind of stink that it's in there and it's repeated. And then if we go in and try to change the footers or something like that, it can be kind of a pain in the ass, because we'd have to come in here and change these too. And now we have we've got index.html, now we have the guide and the API page and the about page. So that's 4 pages that have repeating footers on it, when we could just put them in the base HTML. But I need to figure out how to do that, and I just haven't looked at it yet. So here we go. So this is the guide. quick start guide. All right, so we're gonna have a video, I guess. Let's see what the API looks like. You can tell here the API is highlighted. Well, we have a little underline here, but in the guide, if we go to the guide, we need that little underline there as well. So let's take care of that. And that's this thing right here. And now we got that highlighted. Okay, quick start guide. All right, so we have some like headers here. So we've got a H1, so that's what we've got in the guide. So H1 header, so we need something a little bit smaller, so we'll copy some of these things. This is not very exciting programming, honestly. But it's work, for sure. Well, we could leave that up there. Or we could put in what Mitta is, I guess. So let's do that. What does Mitta do? Who knows? A fun and friendly research platform. Let's see, save. Mitta provides a way to save web pages, images, and free text. Then has machine learning models look at that information and provide tags for indexing and fun analysis of the things you are interested in. Whatever, doesn't matter. All right, list of methods, getting started. Let's see here, what does it look like? What else do I need? So I'm going to need a getting started. How about signing up? How about logging in? Because that's really what you do. What do we have on here? Log in. If you ever saw Goosh.org, that's where I originally thought, wow, it'd just be really cool if you could do something here. What if I just help? Just like that. Except it's better. All right. Right now you're just like, what? A whole bunch of stuff coming back with Mitta. As soon as I get this order sorted around, it's gonna be fine. I should check to see if those images exist or not. I don't know why they don't. I need to like make the delete buttons next to them. They should be able to delete a document. It's your index. So you're like, I'm tired of this result. You just go blurb and it's gone. Just delete it. I guess what we have to do is delete the image, because the image is the thing that gets indexed. It's so fun to use this and then just like, I don't know, like nobody's using it yet. And there's like, holy crap. People are gonna be like, this is weird, I'm not using it. Not everybody. There's like, how many billion people are on the internet? How many billions are on the internet? Oh, that's 3 billion. Wow, 4 billion. I only need 1,000 of those people. I only need 1,000 of these billion people to use it and pay for it. Number of internet users worldwide. 4 billion people. It blows my mind. Okay, let's see, what's next? We're working on this, the guide. Account login. Mitta provides a personal search engine experience and a fun and radically simple UI which looks like a terminal console. Mitta is designed with a simple chat UI. While it looks like it is technical, I don't know why I'm saying all that. Who cares? Nobody cares. Mitta allows you to take a web page and allows you to take any web page content and save it in your own personal index using a friendly chat bot called a sidekick. That's it. I don't know. Whatever. There's supposed to be a line there? Oh yeah. Yep, okay. Mitta provides personal search engine experience, a fun, radically simple UI, which looks like a tool. Okay, I mean that's pretty much it. So I'm not going to bore us with the rest of this because now I have something I can work off of, and then what I do is I just sit here and I iterate on this, and then I'll take a picture, I'll pull it in, so I'll show the login screen. So I'll go over to something like this. I'll do log on real quick. So I'll take a picture of this and I'll put it up here. So there'll be a little login, show you the little login window. And then I'll show installing the Chrome extension, link to the video here. Be the smartest thing to do in the, so just, see that says plugins. Where did I get this? Did I get it from the, legal says extension. That says extension, but this says, that says extension, but then I got it, where do I get it from? Extension. I got it from here. And then there's this says plugins. So I gotta make it say this. So I guess I got it down at the bottom. I did. I didn't finish it at the top. This is what I was talking about. Like if you don't put all this in one place, then it becomes, the more you add, then the harder it is to figure out, did I change them all? So then here. Okay. So there shouldn't be a plugins path now. So you go to the extension, you go there, you go to the guide, you go here, you go to the guide, you go here, you go to the guide, you go here, you go to the guide, you go there, you go to legal, and you go to the guide, you go here, go back to legal, you go down to the bottom, you go to guide, you go there. You go to extension, you go there. You go to extension, you go there. You go to the top, and you go to extension, you go there. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so that'll have to be done, finished. So the index.html part is updated, so I'm going to scratch that off the list. Actually, I'm just going to move this whole thing over here and just make a new note real quick and just say guide content. And I'll just work on that at night or something. Okay, I guess I could try to do that would be kind of interesting, trying to make the video. So the browser needs to go over here for this thing. And then we've got to get this window sorted around. And then I need I'm gonna have to open up my email. This is just not gonna work. This is too hard. It's just too many moving parts. I'm just not gonna be able to do it. So we're 30 minutes into the stream. What am I gonna work on? So I've got, can't work on the guide or the video because I'm on stream. So I guess I could work on bot history. That'd be kind of fun. So let's look at what it takes to do the bot history. I've thought about this several times and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know about bot history. So we'll have to remember what we could do is we could do it by date. So we could make it default. At first we could just make it like the last week of history, so it doesn't get too unwieldy. Or even the last day or something like that. So let's go into jQuery console and let's look for history. Previous history, next history. Ring in, reset the position of the history ring. Okay. Prompt text, enable input, prompt box. I mean, it looks like here history length, like rotate history, rotate through the command history. Previous history, next history, rotate history. Okay, so you've got add to history. Add something to the history ring. Well, how about that? So what we want to do is add to history. That's great. All right, so we want to add to history. And we want to put that in here. Okay, so we're gonna do a controller. Why don't we try doing a command? We could do a command. I'm trying to think here. How do I want to do this? Because you need to get the controller up first before you call add history. So we want to load the history here, maybe? There's nothing there. I need to reload the page. Why? Why is it not? Why isn't it giving me? Oh, it's getting an error. Add to history is not a function. Oh, well, okay. Thought it was. Well, there's reset, but it's external. Which I don't understand. So I guess I can't call these functions? So I call it like report. So there's external report equals report. So could I maybe here could I do extern dot, what was it called? Add to history equals add to history. Reload. Okay. So then, did that work? Yes, it did work. That's great news. Okay, so we've got logout in there. So that's great. So now what we need to do is, before we attempt to load in, I love that because we only changed one line here. We changed one line of code in jQuery console. Let's make sure that's right. So don't look at Joe's diagnosis. Okay, so git status, git diff. So yeah, one line. Okay, that's great. Okay. So we're going to close that. And we're going to close about. And we don't need site open anymore. And we'll leave guide open for later. So in shell, we've got now this. I'm just seeing if it's the right place to put it down here. So here we're setting up the controller. We have to talk to the controller, so we have to wait until we're down here to do all that. So I think this is the right place to do it, probably. All right, so what we're going to need to do is make a call to the system to get a user's history. So the easiest thing I think to do is build a I don't want to save it in the I want to save it in the index, I think. Well, where would I put it? Would we put it under search? I'm going to put it under shell. I'm going to put it under shell. I mean, it is JavaScript, so we could put it into a history. Like a command history. So what we could do is we could fake it here for now. So we could say search foo grub this help. Like that. And then in the shell, what we want to do is we want to do something pretty slick. So we'll do a little template. So we'll do forward command in command history. think that's how we do it. I don't know how that works. I think that's right. So let's look up Jinja 2 for loop. For item in navigation, for command and command history. Let's make sure it is command history. There's command history. Command and command history. Controller add to history command. This has to be something like this. End for. So then what'll happen is when this loads, for good or bad, here's what happens. Then we don't have to make an API call. Something's wrong. Line what? 138. 138. Something wrong in here? Timestamp equals timestamp. Temporary phenomenon. Okay, so I guess we want to, oh great, it worked. Okay, so now we just need to put them somewhere. I don't really want to put them in the, I don't want to put them in the, I don't want to put them in the NDB database, the object database, because then you just have them for everybody. I mean, I could put them in the user object and make it a JSON thing, but then that's nasty. I wouldn't be able to see what they were anyway. So I have this idea of adding a document to the same could be, so it's just the document. So I could put, like here in shell, there used to be an entry down here at the bottom somewhere. It would like, yeah, it was putting in like who the author was. There we go. But I feel like we might want to look at the author, but I don't think it matters. So we've got some random. We don't need this document ID. We don't need that. We're going to need the user ID. So this is in shell, and this is run whenever a command is run. And we're exiting the bottom and we're returning this response. Otherwise we get an exception. We get the exception here and we return the exception, and then this says we're going to take some tags. And then we're going to take some tags and append chat history to the tags. I don't care about that. Alright, so I don't know why on earth anybody would want to train their dog outside somebody else's window. I just don't get it. So, there's some grab command, strip off the bang, command, system text, command. I don't know what any of this is. This doesn't matter. Command equals echo. So, let's look for syslog again. I don't need that either. We don't need that. We don't need this. And we don't need that. Now we can just log the line. We don't need the text, or the words, or the tags. So that's it. We have the current user ID. So what do we have here? We would, we need would be the sidekick. I don't know where the sidekick's coming from. Let's see here. This sidekick. So I think it would be the sidekick Nick is what we want. So sidekick.nick. I always like to do it like this. I don't know why my brain likes to see it like that. I think that's what we do there. I guess it doesn't matter. Sidekick. So it's the user, the sidekick, and the line. So one of either the sidekick or the user hit enter on that line. And then what we want to do is we want to send that to Solr. So that's add document. And what does it look like? Solr, add document. So it's the document. And then the user ID, the sidekick name. Oh, in this case, it's the user ID. What it could be, well, it could be the user ID. I think it's the user ID probably. Or what we could do is we could do this. So it's just that. And then the user ID, right? No. Yeah, the user ID. So then what it's going to do is it's going to post the config URL and the sidekick name and the data, which is this, and send some headers and set a timeout. Maybe that timeout is too short. You never know. And that looks good, honestly. So that should be the history implemented. Should be. Let's reload this, see if it works. Something's crashed. Sidekick is not subscriptable. Oh, that's because it's... I need to set it. so I need to get rid of that here. I think I've already got the nick defined anyway. I don't know why I'm bothering to rename it. That's it right there. So should I call it sidekick nick? I feel like I should. Oh, Sublime. Okay, sidekick nick. So add document, sidekick, user ID. So I'm overriding the sidekick name with the user ID and then putting in the user ID, although I don't think it uses the user ID anymore, and add document. Like here's user ID, but it's not actually down here. So I think I can take it out, I guess. So then I'm gonna go in here and take it out in here. There's really no point posting to it if it, oh wait, I can't take that out. This thing, like that. So we want to look in for add document. So that's it. So now we want to look at for add document elsewhere, because we changed the call. So -r. So it's in shell, it's in tag, and it's in index, and crawl. So crawl, index, and tag, and upload. Crawl, well, it's just included in here, but it's not actually being used, so that's good. All right, and then index. And I'm going to take this out right here. All right, and shell. So there it is there, and tag. And take it out right there. Didn't need it. And it's probably in here too. Nope. We'll get rid of that there. All right, now let's test this. User ID is not defined. Line 226 in shell. And this is because this is Flask login current user.user ID. There we go. That's good because that's not a command. I'm getting an error. hockey. Well, there's an exception up here somewhere. We can print out the exception. Author is not defined. Line 47 in crawl. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. You gotta give it a URL. Okay, so I've got to make a ticket for that. I just added it to the other grub ticket. All right, let's try this out. So we should be logging into something. I guess if it returns an error, yeah, you come into here and it'll return, oh wait a minute. I guess actually, yeah, I guess that's okay. I mean, if it's an error, it's an error. I mean, whatever you type, it should just give it back to you. I mean, that's the way that it works here. So now what we want to do is we want to query it. I suppose what we want to do is verify that we have a sidekick. So we could say hello. Hello, I am Mighty Ape. That's pretty funny. Okay, so we want to go over to 35 Solr. Get the password. Or security through obscurity. We're obscure right now. Nobody knows about us. So if people knew about us, we'd be in trouble. So we want to go to VM instances. As soon as I launch, I guess I'll do a ticket for that, is rotate keys. Jive P. What do you got, Jive P? So this is the token that I'll rotate. Okay, and then I don't know, what is my? I guess I need to know my user ID. Although, is that in my? I probably could get my user ID pretty easily. Is it in the shell? I don't remember. Where's my history? Should be up here somewhere. Oh, it's down here. Down here. Oh, here. Oh, nice. Can we make that not so? Because I'd like it to be nicer looking. see here. Shell HTML. So what I can do here is I'll do this. Just close those up like that. Then I reload this page and it should be, well, that's less than ideal. How about that? There we go. Okay. And then I guess we want to build that here. So we're adding it to the document here when it's getting called, and when it's in the command history, video guide, so then we need to query Solr, query documents, parse and query Solr using Mitta Power Word language. Okay. Count documents, doc count, query documents. What I want to do, like 50 rows. Sidekick ID. And then we're parsing, so we're doing a query build. I don't know we need to do that. Because I mean, it's just, I'm really just passing it the sidekick ID, and then I'm wanting to look for something. I guess it's just, I'm wanting everything. So I could just take out all of this, really. I mean, I don't need it. I'm not using it anyway. I'm not using this function. So I can kind of blow it up. I can blow it up and I can just say I want to do, let's go ahead here and make sure I'm not using it. So we're going to grep query documents. So we've got it in search py. That's the only place we've got it, and that's just an import. So we're going to get rid of it in search py. So we got this query documents, so we're going to get rid of that there. And then we'll go back to Solr and we'll say query history. So they have an index. And then this will be the user ID. Actually, it's the sidekick ID. So we'll set the sidekick ID going in. And the number of rows we're going to give them is 50. Look at 100. All right, and then I think we're going to get rid of all of this. So FQ gets thrown out. Rows needs to be set. And then all of this gets thrown out. And then we say Solr, actually, you know what we ought to do? So we ought to just do this. And then this is the Solr query, which is this. Okay, and then we'll go into shell, and this will be query history. And then this is the sidekick underscore %s with the user ID. Like that. And then print command history. So we just want to reload, I think. So there's the history. So it's going to be response and then docs. So we want to loop over response and docs. One thing that I think that we ought to do here is, well, we could have a separate entry for each of the sidekicks, but I don't know what to do about that yet. So it seems like maybe you have history with a sidekick. So we need to sort around what to do with sidekicks, which I don't have that on the list. I have it in the devlog, so it is over here. I just don't have it on the current sprint. Up here. So I have the uploader. This thing right here. So I just kind of missed that. So I'll need to work on that. Okay. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to include it all. What I can do here is I can do the query history, but I can do it with, I think what I can do is do it like this, and then I can just say, this is actually the sidekick, Nick. So I'll query it like that. And then in Solr, I'll take the sidekick Nick. Now here we're overwriting this and making it the user Nick. That should work. So I'm going to reload here. Make sure this still works. Okay. And we're printing those, so let's stop doing that. And then what we want to do here is we want to say command history. So I actually said and then what we want to do is for command history result sub what is it? Response docs. Like that. I like that one better. History query. Response docs print command, so print history dot command. Oh, sorry, line. Sublime. Like that. So that should print all the lines. Or give me a giant error. So string indexes must be integers. For history and history result response docs. Yeah, response docs. Response docs right here. For history and history result, response docs. Print history result response. $126. Do I have to do JSON loads on it? I think I probably do. There we go. So then what we want to do is we want to say command here. Command history equals command history plus history line. Command history equals like that. Why is that? Why does that look weird? I don't understand. Invalid syntax. Oh, did I close this? Beautiful. Well, well, let me think about this. So, search full text this. Reload. Oh. So then I just gotta put it down here. Like that. That should make. Oh, nice. And then we're gonna log out, and then we're gonna log back in. Whoops. Something happened. It was me. That's what happened. 958006. Okay. Sweet. Now I don't know about that hello there. That's fun. I think it needs to be ordered by date. So it needs to be like descending or something. Query history. Solr query history. Rows. Definitely needs to be ordered by date. So how do we do that in Solr? Ampersand sort equals updated. I don't remember what are we using. I think it's updated. It's in here. Timestamp. Like this. Maybe that'll fix it. Except we have quotes. That's pretty fun. You know, it looked like it wasn't it. So I don't know what to do about that, about the quote thing. Because there it's normal. When I'm pulling it back out, let's look in the Solr admin. I need to look for my user. Well, my user is. My user ID, I should say. Data store, entities. User this UPND. This one. And query. Execute query. Ah, here we are. Okay, so we do have some stuff like commented out in here. So this one seems to be that way too. I don't know why they would be encoded. Huh. Maybe when it comes back in, I need to strip it? Probably. I don't know. Look for quotes and then strip them? I don't know what I need to do there. I think before it gets indexed, it should be stripped. Here. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to delete this one. I don't think unloading it will get rid of it. I'm gonna rename it. Okay, now let's try this again. What does that say? JSON decode error. Expecting value line 1 column what? So if we fail at this here, so I guess we're going to do a try here. And then we're going to say, yeah. So we're going to just say an accept. Just like that. Because we deleted it. So until we make an entry, we can't. Something wrong. So we don't have a history, but now we have history. Would load history. We don't have to do that. Okay, so now we'll reload. And we don't have history. Did we get an error? It's kind of odd. Let's look for our core again. So it's sidekick UP. I don't see it. I see delete me. So in the Solr add document, what we want to do is create collection. And what we want to do here is we'd like to tell it the sidekick name, I think. sidekick name? We should. Yeah, it says if request status code is 400, sidekick ID. It should be the sidekick, yeah, it's the sidekick ID. Doesn't really matter here what we're calling it, even if it's, I don't really like the idea of using sidekick ID, but this is really the sidekick, but it's like the user ID actually. I don't understand why it wouldn't be created here. All these are like old ones. These are all the new sidekicks. There I am, UPN. But here it should. Would create collection maybe? That should run. I don't see anything. So what's happening here? Is this running? $500. Try that now. There we go. That's better. Now let's go look and see if we've got it. I think that's it right there. Nope. No, we're UP. Sidekick UP. Well, I still don't see it. Did it? If I reload it again. It says would create collection. Would create collection. So it's not creating the collection? What's the error we're getting? I don't understand. There's the whole bunch of crap. Solr core sidekick UP is not available due to indent failure or error opening new searcher. Well, okay. Why doesn't it create the collection though? So we're passing in the sidekick name. Well, that's the dot count. So we're passing in the sidekick name. So we're saying create name. So here, config Solr URL, create name, user ID, collection user ID. So we're calling it both things. Alright, so now we need to get rid of this thing. I mean, it makes sense that it's not in there, but true. Well, I mean, that seemed to run. It didn't error out. Let's print the user ID. I don't think that's a great, it's more like a sidekick name or something, but whatever. Let's reload this page. So it says here, would create collection, and then it says here, it's creating it. But then I don't see it. So I'm just being silly. I just don't see it. I see this. This is a mess. I wonder if it's because I put this on here, because it was working. Let me take this off. Now let's run it. Yeah, I don't understand why it's not creating the collection. Let's print the response here. Here we go. Sidekick, unable to create core sidekick UPI caused by lock held this virtual machine. I see. So it's because I renamed it or something. There's a lock on it. It's specific to me. Oh, here we go. Error opening new searcher. Well, that's interesting. What can I do? What can I do? I can unload the one that says delete. This one. Unload it. Okay. Will it work now? Bingo. That worked. Okay, let's take this out. I mean, worst case, their history doesn't work. That's great. Well, so what I need to do is I need to query it, I guess. Seeing how I didn't get rid of it. I got rid of it. Where is it? In M. Reload again. I keep thinking this WMF one is mine, but it's not. Where in the hell did it go? I don't understand. Where did it go? It's right here. There's something going on with it. I don't understand what's happening. Core admin. And then go to this UPN. That one's not in there? It's not in there. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. For God's sakes. Okay, query, execute. Alright, so what I would like to do is delete these. But, and the reason why is because I've got some, like, doubled up this stuff here. I'd like to get rid of these two. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to go over here, and I think I can do this. Let's see, is it index? What's the call? I don't think I can do it from here. I think I have to delete it from the shell. I mean, from the command line, or the API. So index, and I can delete a document here. So, so I have to know what my nick is. Oh, I can only delete it from something like that. Let's see what the code says. Delete a document. So take the nick. So I know what the nick is. And then it says sidekick get by user ID nick. So that won't work. If not sidekick, then it'll say sidekick not found. So I can't delete it. I can't edit it directly. Which is good, because I don't want to be able to do that. But I also don't want this broken like this. So I need to delete it. Let's see here. Documents. How do I do this? Is it remove? I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't want to really drop the whole thing. Would it be really nice if it just would tell me how to just do it from the Solr admin? There we go. Delete query. What's it say? It says, make sure to select the document type drop down as Solr command raw or JSON. Like that? I don't know. I have no idea. I paste it in here? That's not right. Use one of the queries below in the document tab of Solr admin UI. The document tab of Solr UI. Documents tab. Oh, here we go. Status 0, success. Okay, well, who knows? Query. Okay, great. Okay, so that got rid of them. So now let's see if we can do something like this. Okay, that worked. Now let's look for NASA. So then what we want to do is reload. Oh, fuck. Where are those getting encoded? So in the shell code, where I'm picking up the history, which is here, this thing, this history line. So convert ampersand. Let's see, Python. I don't know what those are called. Pound 34. Use HTML unescape. Import HTML. History right here. So we want dot HTML unescape history line, like that. Well, that didn't work. Doesn't seem to work on what we tried it with. I don't really know what's encoding it. So whenever we're encoding it down here, I wonder if we're I mean, I am replacing it here. don't think I should do that, really. I don't think that should be done. I think that's not what I want to do. I don't know. So I want to say Mitta. Then I want to reload. That's not working. So the document, so it's getting stuffed, probably when it's getting stuffed into Solr. Here. Solr, add document, right here. Data. I don't know. Does that work? If it worked, I almost wouldn't care. Doesn't work. It's gonna think it's a tag or something. Okay, let's try something else. Okay. So it's encoding it going into it. Somehow. So here, I don't think the line has it in it, but well, let's find out. Well, it looks like when it sticks it in there, it does something to it. I wonder if it's this. That's the response. So that's the response coming back into... That doesn't need to be done there. That's the response coming back into the JavaScript command, and it does need to be escaped out of there. So that's fine. I don't know why it's coming in here though. Because here it's line, it says line, oh, query liner. I'm resetting it. So this is line history entry, line entry equals line. And then we'll go down here and we'll do this. Now let's see what it does. It looks better, I think. Well, printed out full text thing's not found, but when I put it in there, it still says the other thing. Oh. And I think here it's just doing that because it needs to do it inside of Solr. But that's probably why it's coming back that way, is because Solr's encoding it. that's what I've been typing in here. So when it comes back, what do I need to do? Where's the question? I don't even know how I get those double quotes in there. I'm gonna have to change this to, and this is more work than I thought it would be. So I need to go into the template, shell template, this one. And here, this needs to be this, like that. Okay, and then something's encoding it when it comes back. I mean, I feel like here that this is, if we print this document, actually it's when we do a search. So there's the search for things. So we got the timestamp, user ID, sidekick nick, line, search for things. Then we stick it in a, we add it to this document. So we say add document, which is this thing here, and oh, JSON dumps. Oh. Like that, maybe? Not byte array. So utils. Oh, excuse me. No. Where is that? Where's the error? .105. So that document, it doesn't want to do a loads on that. What does the document look like? So it's just a dictionary. Okay, I guess we'll save it like that. So it's dumping the whole thing, which at that point, if we print data, then it's encoded. It becomes encoded. So we need a way to get it unencoded when it comes out, because it's in the index encoded. Here, here, here. Foobar. So we want to be able to get that. I mean, I don't understand when it comes back. So this is where we're querying it. So we're trying to do an HTML on escape, but it's not going to help us. What we actually need to do is kind of do a replace. I don't know. Let's try to print history line here. My neighbor, he says to me, he says, we're gonna get a dog. I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't know that that was the clue that, you know, that they'd get up early in the morning and bang around tending to the dog, and that the dog would bark in the morning. I mean, it stopped doing that, but now it's barks every afternoon, barks all the time. And then he's out here walking it back and forth in front of my apartment. I'm just like, okay, can you make any more noise? Like it's like people are having to try to make more noise. I'm out of here. No more noise. No more of this type of noise. Okay, so noise. So what do we got here? So it says here, well, that looks good. What happened there? So that's why I'm printing that line, and then I'm putting it into the command history. Oh, that looks like it's working. Oh, well, of course it's working. I mean, it's not working when it's coming back in. Let's see here. Yeah, see, it's not working when it comes back in. Search full text noise. So if I reload this page, I'm gonna have to go because I can't take that. Seriously can't take it. Okay, so that's where all this is coming in. So some of it is screwed up. And then I'm putting it into the shell. So then view page source. And here it all is. It's definitely not converting it. I mean, I guess I convert it right there on the spot. Like here. So I could do just replace I think that's right. And so I want to replace ampersand. What is it showing? So it's ampersand pound 34. And I want to replace that with a quote. Does that do, let's say it says replace, method replaces a specific phrase with another specific phrase. Note, all occurrences of the specific phrase will be replaced if nothing else is specified. Well, that's what I want. So that should just fix it. Okay, something broke. There's nothing there. Where'd it go? Oh, so that's probably getting an error? Lovely, lovely. List object has no attribute replace. This is a list. What? It says list object has no attribute replace. I don't understand that. Oh, it's a list. They're all little tiny lists. Is that the problem with it? What's happening now? Can only concatenate list, not stringed list. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, I see. So this would be an append. Well, I don't know what I was doing there. Well, that looks promising-ish, but that ampersand 34 is not being replaced. So let's print this history line sub-0. All right. So there they are, printed. And then we're sending them into, so we've got one that's screwed up, but I don't know why. But so then command history append. Oh, interesting. So that's the history line right there. Right. So then if I were to print command history, what happens? Oops. What are you doing here? Beeping at me. So it printed all those things, and then it printed the list of the things, which looks good, except for that one. And then it's sending it into here, into the shell. And then I'm doing the for loop on it down here. Where is it? Here. So then I'm stuffing that in there. So then when it pops out in here, view page source, it's all encoded for some reason. So it looks like maybe that, like, I gotta figure out how to get it to not encode this. So Jinja 2 don't encode or unscape. Data safe. I don't know it's that safe. That looks better. Now what? Is it working here? Oh my god, it works. Cool. All right, history's done. There's not really any stop to it, but at least it works. Okay, that's it. So I think that's it for the stream. I'm probably at the time. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Wow. All right, well, that's good. All right. All right, if you guys like this, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Reality is it'll only probably be watched by a few people, so bless you. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm Cord Campbell. This is Building Mitta.